Hi, so Youngblood, it's a song by 5 Seconds of Summer. The tempo is 120 BPM. I write it in 4/4 time. However, it's like a shuffled 4/4. So it basically means that it's eighth note triplets through the whole thing. So like when you look at a measure, it's not so much you think to yourself like, okay, does this measure have eighth note triplets in it? It's more just like, what parts of the eighth note triplet are we choosing to play? Is another way to think of it. There are 16th note triplets in it for like the tiniest fraction of a second, like right before the final chorus. So technically we got 16th note triplets in there too, but whatever. Moving on. This video, in case you don't know, is a companion video to my cover of Youngblood, which should be in the description. The cover is unlisted, so you kind of need to go to the description to find the video. But hopefully both of these videos will help you play Youngblood on the drums. That's the whole point of it. Let's go ahead and talk about beats. So there's 3 beats on the bottom of the screen. There's technically a 4th beat. The 4th beat I have in mind is just the first one with the hi-hats gone. So here's the first beat. So it's just hat bass and then hat snare bass. You'll notice that all of the beats we're talking about have a bass and then have a snare bass. And it's just like that. Boom, bop, boom, bop. What changes is the hi-hat. In fact, this 4th beat that I've referred to is essentially the first one that you can see on screen. But in the cover video, I kind of just take it, I just drag it to the top, so you can't see the hi-hat notes anymore. And so that's our 4th beat. So, where does this first beat happen? It happens in the first chorus. So the chorus happens for the first time, 1, 2, 3, young. And then we get to the second half of the chorus where it transitions to that's basically the first, I don't know, third of it, first minute or so. That chorus is going to end. We're going to get to the second verse, and we're going to do this again, but we're going to do it soft. You're going to do that for the entirety of the second verse, and then as the second chorus comes in, the chorus after the second verse, there's going to be a little 2-beat fill. I haven't written that fill down at all. But it's essentially 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you crash to transition to the second chorus. Now this second chorus, this is where we see the second beat for the first time. And it's essentially this, but we're shuffling now. That shuffle beat that I just did, that's gonna take you all the way to the second half of the second chorus, where I'm gonna switch it up again and go to that 3rd beat, which is essentially 8th note triplets on the hi-hats, bass and snare being the same. So this one's a little tricky. It's technically 8th notes, but you're gonna need 2 hands to do it. I mean, if you want to, you can go ahead. I choose to do it with 2. So yeah, I guess it's just kind of up to personal preference. I feel like there's a chance that my right hand cannot keep up if I just do this for like 2 minutes. Like I could just fall behind, and if you're falling behind, that's not good, because it's going to be really hard to catch back up. So yeah, that's like for the second half of like the second chorus. I may have gotten ahead of myself a little bit. Let's talk about the transition from that second chorus first half to the second half. It's going to feature the first key fill. So I'm going to show a bunch of fills on screen. The key fills, you'll notice they're key because they have like a corny golden star sticker next to them. So what makes it a key fill is the fact that it's in the recording. I either have it note perfect or I have close to note perfect. Basically, somebody who's heard the song, if they hear you drum it, they hear you play that fill, they're going to be like, that was in the song, even if it's not absolutely perfect. So anyways, let's talk about that key fill. So I want to say it's this one. It's So first two beats of that fill are easy. It's just, so imagine triplets. We just played the first two of every beat for beats 1 and 2. So it's 1 and a, 2 and a, 1 and a, 2 and a, ba-ba, ba-ba. So now beat 3 and beat 4 of that measure. So that's right, right, and then left, right. So that's high floor, bass, high floor, bass, bass. You have to do that boom, boom for the crash. Let's do the fill from beginning to end. Oops. Now, you don't have to do, if you don't want to, you could do, so left, right, left. It's up to personal preference. So the question becomes, do you want to left, left, and then cross over with the bass and crash? Or do you want to left, right, foot, and then foot, like that, so there's no crossing? So are you more comfortable with like doing a little bit more work with your foot and like no crossing over whatsoever, which is like its own benefit? Or do you want to, that's better, which is more work for your hands because you have to cross, but you can let your foot rest. That's kind of up to you. Here's a fill again. Alrighty. Let's briefly review that second chorus again. So now we're going to have to transition from that second half to the bridge, I want to say. It's gonna get quiet for the bridge. So this fill that I'm gonna show on screen is not a key fill. It's just kind of a fill that I chose to do. It makes for like a good transition. So what I have on the page, it might be different from the actual cover, but what I have on the page is a I think on video I hit the tom instead of the bass, but the thing about the bass and the toms is they're kind of interchangeable. Like there's some consideration to be had for like melody, you know. You know, they all have like their own little melodic things because they're all different pitches. But at the end of the day, you can switch them out for each other. So, anyways, number 3 again. So that's the fill. That's going to transition you from that second chorus into the bridge. The entire bridge are going to be quiet right up until the final measure. So it's like running around, like running away from you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beat 1 of the next measure is where your fill starts. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the rest of it. So let's talk about the fill itself. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, yeah, so this is another key fill. because it's essentially what happens in the track. So it's... So I do a bit of a diddle. So picture eighth note triplets, 1 and a 2 in the, but you take that and of 1 and you double it. So boom. So here's what I'm doing on the tom. That doesn't make that easier at all. Oh my gosh. So it's bum da da dun 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 dun. So right, left, right, left. Dun 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 dun. It's right there on the page. So just camp on this tom for 2 beats. And then beat 3 is, and then 4 is. And that crash is going to transition you to the final chorus. Okie dokie. So, let's talk about the next upcoming fill. Now, this one, I kind of just did it because I liked it. I like doing this fill. This fill kind of lives in that back pocket where, like, if I'm doing like a shuffly song and I want to do like a full measure triplet fill, this is the fill that just comes out. You know, I just kind of like, oh, that one, and I just do it. So it's oh, actually, I did that a little bit wrong. The little variation I did for this song in particular is my left hand went at the very end. So the whole thing. Yeah. I'll try to break it down. Subbing in the bass foot occasionally for the toms because I just feel like it makes navigating around the drum set easier. Okay, we'll do 2 beats at a time. So that's high snare, snare, high 4 foot. High snare, snare, high 4 foot. Next 2 beats. So that's right foot, right, left, right, left. Right foot, right, left, crash. Right foot, right, left. Okay, so practice each one of those parts individually. Then when you're comfortable, try to put it together. I wasn't looking. It's okay. So I like that fill quite a bit. Alright, so this next one. This next one is sort of just an easy 2-beat fill. Because like the cool thing about it is like you don't have to stop. You don't really have to stop what you're doing because you're doing this. And then you just kind of take your right hand away, and then... Yeah, you could do that right now. Learning it takes you like 10 seconds. So anyway, the whole thing... And then number 7 is very similar to the previous fill. It's... Okay, yeah, see, there it is again. Do you use 2 hands, or do you do hand foot? where you end 4 beats. Okie dokie. So let's try to recap everything. So if you watch my cover, you'll see that I'm doing a lot of I'm like opening the hi-hats at like different spots. I'm hitting extra snare notes occasionally. Towards the very end, I start like shuffling the bass around, like. I sort of get fancy with it a little bit, and none of that is necessary. You know what I mean? It's all part of just like expression, just like making making the drum cover like your own, sort of putting your mark on it, and just kind of having fun with it. Like most of your expression is going to come with your hands because, as we've reviewed, these are the beats. It's just that, but different, varying amounts of hi-hat notes. You know. So a lot of it's going to be. Just opening the hi-hat different intervals, occasionally doing extra snares. And the other bits of expression are the fills. So any of those fills that are not key, you don't have to do. If I like doing them because they make the transitions easier, they make the transitions more flavorful. I think that the best way to do it is just look at the fill. If it's a 2-beat long fill, then put in your own 2-beat triplet fill that's easy for you to play, that you think sounds really good. And if it's a 4-beat long fill, either do your own 4-beat triplet fill, or play that fill exactly, or even sub it for a 2-beat fill. Because the main thing is just like the crash on beat 1 of the next measure. The thing that's gonna make it sound the most clean is the fact that you crashed on beat 1 and that you returned on beat 2. Because it doesn't really matter like what happens in the fill as long as it's how it ends. I feel like I rambled a lot. Oh my gosh, I hope this makes any sense. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Goodbye.